Hey guys, I'm back, doing another movie review. Today, my my movie review for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse Madness. I haven't done a video for a while, so I wanted to do this. I went to go see it on Thursday, so it is a bit late, but I've been busy, you know. Anyway, um, this movie was amazing, yet disappointing. I went into this movie expecting big things. I expected a lot more um, cameos, a lot more of the multiverse, and I expected it to do that. This movie had none of that. It had none of that. It was really a Doctor Strange movie, and I loved that it was about Doctor Strange. Um, but we don't see that much of the multiverse in this movie. I feel like No Way Home was more of a multiverse movie than this one because, like, yes, we get to see other versions and different realities, but it's not as mad as it probably should have been. Like, I thought it was going to be a big, like, movie, like a big mess. And it wasn't as messy as I thought it was going to be. And it was actually a lot enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. But then again, I was disappointed in some aspects of the movie. The actors were amazing. The whatever her name, Gomez, who played America Chavez, she was amazing. I loved her. I loved her introduction to the MCU, and I cannot wait to see her in some more things. Wong was great. I've always loved Wong, and he's been in a lot of movies since that first Doctor Strange movie. His journey to this movie, it was amazing to see him back. Rachel McAdams as Christine Palmer, she was better in this movie than she was in the last one. I will say this movie's a lot better than the first Doctor Strange, simply because it has more visuals, more action, more intense moments that I think, and plus the villain is a lot better than the first Doctor Strange movie. That was my biggest gripe. I remember watching the first Doctor Strange movie, not expecting to love it, and I watched it on Netflix, and I loved it. It was amazing. It's a masterpiece. I love it. However, I hated Caecilius. He was a shit villain. Still is a shit villain. I hated him. I think Mads Mikkelsen, what his fucking name is. He's from Rogue One and all that. I think he's a great actor, but that was not the villain that I wanted to see, and he wasn't threatening. He wasn't scary. He was just like that. That was what he was. One of the most forgettable Marvel villains, because we got a lot of great Marvel villains. We got Thanos, we got Goblin, and I'm about to talk about possibly one of the best Marvel villains that we've seen in the MCU so far. The one that scared me the most, the one that she's up there with Goblin and Thanos. She's probably number 3 now. She topped Zemo, because Zemo, I love Zemo, but she topped him. She does some brutal things in this movie. And I'll talk about that in a minute. This movie was really, it had its intense moments. Benedict Cumberbatch, as always, he's great. He's a great Doctor Strange. I don't want him to retire. I want him to play that role forever to come, for movies to come. Just because Doctor Strange is actually turning into one of my favorite Avengers. I love Doctor Strange. I remember we've gone on such a big journey with him, with No Way Home, that's been released 4 months ago. Now this movie, we've been on a lot of big journeys with him. Benedict Cumberbatch has been busy. He's done What If and Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, Ragnarok, Doctor Strange, and now this one. There's just a lot of things that are coming, and you're not prepared for what's to come in this movie. And I feel like, and I'll get to the cameos in a minute. But the person that I want to talk about the most, the one that impressed me the most, was Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. Holy shit! I don't know if she went to acting schools, but her performance in this, mwah, mwah, perfect performance. You know, like, I remember walking out of the theater saying, if she wasn't in this movie would have been, like, average. But she made this movie. If she wasn't in this, if Strange wasn't in this, like, the mains weren't in this movie would have been a crap movie, because it has some crap in it. And this movie had a lot of great stuff about it, a lot of bad stuff about it, and I'm going to get to the bad stuff in a minute. This movie wasn't as epic as I thought it was going to be. However, I was so impressed with Elizabeth Olsen. She has done a great, like, I loved her in WandaVision. She's better in this movie than she was in WandaVision, and she's better in this movie than she has been in any of the movies, like Age of Ultron, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. Like, I loved her in all those movies. This is her at her best in this movie. I'm gonna get to the spoiler territory. The cameos. Okay, so John Krasinski shows up as Mr. Fantastic, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't think that they... I was, but I wasn't expecting them to do... I was actually expecting old mate to show up, the one from the original Fantastic Four. He comes in to play Reed Richards. The girl who played from the first Captain Marvel movie, she plays Captain Marvel in this, because they go into another universe. They meet the Illuminati. I was very disappointed with Mordo. I thought he looked cool, but I was very disappointed with what they did with him in this movie. I thought, like, he was a lot better in the first one. I was very disappointed with him in this movie. But anyway, he was from another universe, so... Captain Carter is in this movie, Haley Atwell. We got a new character, Black Bolt. I never knew who he was in the comics, and I figured it out. And he was, you know, and of course Sir Patrick Stewart as Professor Charles Xavier. He says a line in this where I was like, I know where that's from. It's from Days of Future Past, and I went nuts when he said that. I was like, that's from Days of Future Past. Let's fucking go. Now, as much as it was cool to see everybody back, or well, not everybody, like, you know, to see people make their appearances, or, you know, some new people and some old people and some people that are just great actors, to see them back was amazing. They all die in this movie, and you're going to be really pissed off with how they are executed. Story-wise, they were really bad. Really, really bad. I was very disappointed with the Illuminati. I felt like it was cheap. It was like it was a cheap, just, you know, it just felt like a favor. It felt like, you know, why are you even in this, sir? Why are you even in this? Like, it was just like, why are you even in this movie? Like, you know, if I was Sir Patrick Stewart, I would have said no to this, because they wasted him, and it was shitty to see that, because I love Charles Xavier, and they did a horrible job with him in this movie. He was not the Charles Xavier that, of course, we know, but he was also not the. He was also very, like, it was a cool appearance from him, but it just didn't work for me. Especially the way he died. The way he died was so stupid. Like, I was just like, really? Really? The way he died in Logan was much better than the way he died in this movie. He gets his neck snapped. Okay? And I felt like it was written in there for Wanda to fuck some shit up, which I don't have a problem with. But the thing I do have a problem with is if the story isn't correct. Like, I don't. If they were in the movie more and the movie was fleshed out longer, another thing I hated about this movie was it was only a 2 hour movie. Should have been a 3 hour fucking film. I really hope there's a Raimi cut because I need it. Please send me the Raimi cut because we need this shit. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to be disappointed with what they've done with this. It wasn't a mess, but it felt rushed. It felt rushed. It just felt really just silly in some aspects, especially with the cameos. The cameos, as cool as it was to see John Krasinski and Patrick Stewart, it was cool to see them in a Marvel movie. Never thought I'd ever seen them in a Marvel movie, and that's cool. But for them to show up for 2 seconds and then be killed, like, okay, that's gone. It just felt like a waste. Like, these Illuminati, they're supposed to be this big fucking group, and they're supposed to be the people that, you know, and they're supposed to be the Avengers in a way from the fucking, from the multiverse, the Avengers from the multiverse, and they just get killed like this. Black Bolt's death was so stupid. Oh my god. It was cool to see some. This movie's a lot gorier than a lot of the other Marvel movies. It's not gory, but it does have a lot of blood and stuff that you wouldn't see in a Marvel movie ever. They usually keep it PG-13. They do in this movie, but not as much as you think they would. And it's definitely not a kids' movie. I don't recommend this for the kids. Don't go take your kids to see it. It's not a kids' movie at all. It's very brutal. It's got some great, stunning visuals, stunning deaths. The death scenes were cool, but it felt lazy. It felt lazy, it felt rushed, it felt stupid, it felt unnecessary. They could have put them in the movie much longer. Black Bolt. So Black Bolt dies. Ugh. Mr. Fantastic's death was the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. He gets pulled in half like spaghetti noodles, and then he gets his head popped off. And then after that, like, these two guys didn't even put up a fight. Like, wanted just like, yeah, done. And then Captain Carter, her death was fucking brutal. She has a quick exchange with Wanda. She says, I could do this all day, which I love that. I love that line. But she gets cut in half. She gets cut in half in this movie. Yeah. She throws the shield at Wanda. Wanda catches it and throws it back at her and cuts her in half. It was brutal. Captain Marvel dies as well. She gets killed by this big statue that lands on her. And, of course, Patrick Stewart gets his neck snapped. As I said, I was not very impressed with how they handled the Illuminati. I feel like it was rushed, and it didn't feel necessary. It felt like it was a favor from Kevin Feige and said, Patrick, can you come in to do this quick stunt or quick part? And that's it. And you're out. And then that's what it felt like, and I didn't like it. I did not like it. It felt disrespectful. It felt rushed, and it felt like Marvel didn't give them enough screen time to make their deaths meaningful. Like, did I cry over their deaths? No, I didn't. I didn't feel sad for them. I didn't even cry over them. I was just like, the fuck? I was just really pissed off because for a minute there, I thought, okay, and I don't have a problem with Wanda killing them, but at least have them have a big, more executive role in this movie. They were in it for 2 seconds, and then they die. And I did not like that. It felt quick, it felt weak, it felt rushed, and it felt like, I don't know, Raimi, whoever thought it was a good idea to kill them off, quickly, like, do a quick little scene, that's it, and then they're dead. It didn't work for me, and I know it's not going to work for a lot of other people, because I know a lot of people who are X-Men fans are going to be pissed that they brought Sir Patrick Stewart back, and then kill him off. It was so, yeah, like, There's another cameo at the post-credit scene. Charlize Theron as Clea. I don't know who she is. My brother does, but I don't. She was cool. She's in the post-credit scene. The movie itself was amazing, and I'm not gonna and I know you guys think I'm bashing this movie. I'm not. I'm not bashing it at all. I still love it, but it's a thing that really annoyed me because it could have been a lot more meaningful, but it was a wasteful scene. It was wasteful. Like it was like it was written by someone who wanted to see Wanda fucking kill people. Like it was written because they wanted to see Wanda slaughter people and just see this evil side of Wanda, which I like. Look, I'm not gonna say I don't like that. I love Wanda, and I'm glad that she was a villain in this movie, and she was the best villain. Like she's third on my list. She's the best one of the best Marvel villains we've seen, apart from Goblin and Thanos. Thanos shows up in this movie. And he's dead, and he's like, look, this is his fucking sphere, and he's like... And that's another thing, they go to a flashback, and, they're Doctor Strange, and the Illuminati execute Doctor Strange because he killed Thanos, and then after that, he wanted to take power for himself, so Black Bolt just killed him, executed him. Zombie Doctor Strange. That was some fucking cool shit. I loved Zombie Doctor Strange, especially the way, I fucking loved it. There's a Spider-Man reference at the first half of this movie, and it makes me think if Doctor Strange actually remembers Peter, because, and they make a quick joke. This movie has a lot of similar Marvel comedy, but I gotta say, this movie's a lot darker than a lot of the other Marvel movies. But this joke was really silly. You know, like the No Way Home jokes were better than this joke. This joke was really bad. It was like like we've all heard it all before. You know, America Chavez is talking about Peter Spider-Man, and then saying what he shoots webs out of his ass. Like, oh no, oh maybe he does. It was just silly. Like they didn't need that. It was just a really bad joke, and it wasn't funny. It was just stupid, and there's a lot of those jokes in this movie. There's a lesbian scene, but we don't get the same kiss, so that didn't bother me. She's part of the LGBTQ community, America Chavez, but that didn't bother me because I thought that was actually a really good scene the way it was done. What else? Strange Supreme. Okay, Strange Supreme was fucking amazing in this movie. I loved him. He was amazing. He was just amazing the way he did. I think that's about it, guys. There's nothing else I could really tell you. As I said, Wanda was she was the one that stole the show. Her and Strange. They're the ones that were the stars, and they're the ones that stole the show. As I said, very disappointed with Mordo. I did not like the way they handled the Illuminati and Charles and all that stuff. It was really weak and very silly, very rushed, and just, yeah. But other than that, this movie is great. I definitely think you guys are going to like it. I don't think you guys are going to love it, though. You're going to like it, but you're not going to love it. I don't think it... It's not nowhere near as good as No Way Home. Let me make that 100% clear. Nowhere near as good as No Way Home, or Endgame, or Infinity War. It's not that type of movie. If you think it's going to be the best Marvel movie, like I heard people saying it's one of the best Marvel movies, in my opinion, it's not. It was good, and I enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun with seeing the cameos. But it was not an Infinity War or an Endgame. It was nothing like that. And I thought it would be. So I was very disappointed with how they handled some things. As I said, could have been a lot better. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But it wasn't bad. It just wasn't. My expectations were so high for this movie. I left saying, you know what? I really enjoyed it. But I was just like, it could have been a lot better. And it could have been a lot longer. And I think they would have... Yeah, so I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. I still really enjoy it, and I'm going to buy it when it comes out. It's not as good as the Batman, nowhere near as good as the Batman. The Batman, mwah, is a masterpiece. This movie, it's not as good as No Way Home. It's not as good as Endgame, not as good as Infinity War. A lot of people probably will disagree with me, and that's fine if you wanted. But as I said, the cameos were really pissed me off. The way they handled that, it got under my nerves because I was just like, Charles and Wanda are two mutants, okay? Is and I don't know if Wanda's more powerful than Charles. She probably is, but it was really poorly done. So that's my take on those cameos. The way he died in Logan was much better, and the way that was handled was much better. It was a lot more sadder, a lot more meaningful. This felt meaningless. So anyway, that's my review for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Go see it. It's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth watching, and I think a lot of you Marvel fans will like it or love it or just think it's a masterpiece. You guys might think it's a perfect movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I have a couple issues with it. I don't have a lot of issues with it, but I have a couple issues, and that's the runtime and the way they handled Illuminati was just really dumb. So, but the deaths were great, the visuals were great, the acting was great, everybody did a great job in this movie. Even the cameos, they did a great job, it was just the story to their characters felt meaningless, and just the way they handled it was just so in your face, like, come on, man. Come on. But anyway, that's my review of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to do a review for, A Moon Knight soon. So see you guys. Bye.